Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
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 Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parirajikacharya Shatara Shata Shish Maz Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parirajikacharya Ashatara Shata Shish Maz Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Shiko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki Jai Mathura Dhama Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Mitai Gaura Premanande Hari Haribo all glorious to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glorious to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glorious to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glorious to Shri Guru and Gauranga all glorious to Srila Prabhupada Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasaya Bhutale Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauri Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Expand the Bliss morning live stream. Expand the Bliss London morning live stream. Very nice to see 10 enthusiastic souls already here to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a most wonderful literature. Specifically, we're going to be studying 187. We're working our way through the first canto and the 8th chapter now, 7th verse, His Grace, Purajit Prabhu, will be giving a class just in a moment, but I'm just going to welcome the souls who have come here so they don't escape. Hare Krishna to Isaac Klein. Thank you for coming, Isaac. Regularly attending the classes now, coming for, I think, a week or maybe a little over that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So thank you for coming all the way from Netherlands. I can't remember exactly, in Groningen. I'm not so expert in Netherlands cities. Groningen, Netherlands, I think. Please forgive me if I am not so expert pronouncer. Hare Krishna, Ellen. Wonderful. From Germany. Hare Krishna, Ellen. Thank you so much for coming. It's always nice to have you here, Mataji, to discuss. Ellen is very knowledgeable, Mataji, offering nice things to Krishna every day on our on our Bliss Family Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group already, I highly recommend it. There's lots of discussion posts going on every single day. So even after the live stream ends, you can continue to associate with the Bliss community in our Bliss Family group. Hare Krishna to Azu. Hare Krishna, Azu. Purajit Prabhu asked you, I think maybe 2 days ago, where you're from, but I didn't actually get the answer myself, so please let us know. Where are you from? I assume somewhere in India, but which part of India, we do not know. Bhakti Neil, Hare Krishna. Neil Prabhu, nice to see you here. As always, Puja, Krishna-holic, Hare Krishna, getting intoxicated on the holy name of Krishna, Krishna-holic. SK Komal, Hare Krishna, Komal Prabhu. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the hearts, for the love, for the Lord. Davo, Hare Krishna, Davo. Victoria, not Victor. Maybe there is some Victor Corona also, but this is specifically Victoria Corona. Very nice to have you here, Mataji. Yadav, Haribo Yadav, thank you for coming with some nice roses. Isn't today 186? I think we did 186 yesterday. Okay, it was 186. Yeah, so you can put the shloka there in the 186 in the chat, Prabhu. Okay, and PJ, Hare Krishna PJ. Thank you very much. Yeah, Prabhu, you can change the video title, Davo. If you see a mistake and you're sure, you can change. So please do that. Well, let me know if you can do it first of all. Okay, PJ, I just said Hare Krishna to PJ, but I'd like to say it again. Thank you for tagging. PJ Prabhu, that's very nice. So, Davo Prabhu, can you change it or no? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to remain looking like a mutta. Okay, you changed it. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so maybe you noticed already, but the devotees are doing very nicely today. Tagging people in the chat. So I can also see some shares here. Let's see if we get a variety of shares. Maybe there are some new sharers to groups. Victoria Corona, very nicely, is expanding. Wow, Victoria is our biggest sharer so far.
Okay.
Sharing to, oh wow, 6 groups, 7 groups. Very nice, very nicely done. Yadav also. This is wonderful, so encouraging. Okay, Victoria's very nicely taking initiative. So you can also do like Mataji Victoria and share to groups, tag people in the chat, and in this way, we're going to spread the whole live stream like a nice Krishna cream cheese all over the internet. We're going to spread it. I don't know why I came up with that analogy. But anyway, yesterday we had, let's see, 2,172 views. That's more like it. Very nicely done, Bruce. So that's very nice. And okay, we've been doing fairly well. We're in the upper thousands, but yesterday 2,000 views. So nice. So let us get 3,000 views today. I think it's quite possible. It clearly is. I asked, I think yesterday morning for 2,000 views, and we got 2,000. So let us do it again with 3,000. Okay, that'll be very nice. So we just uploaded a podcast also. Please go check it out on Expand the Bliss YouTube channel. We talk about with a special guest, Purja Prabhu. We talked about how all the different paths, they lead to the same goal, which seems like a contradictory statement from us usually. But anyway, we analyze that in this podcast. So a bit of a philosophical podcast. You can go there, check it out. Put a like on the video. Davor is banned from sharing. Very bad. You can also make another account, Prabhu. Which you can cheat the Facebook like that. Oh, hold on. I gotta be careful what I speak. Alright, so yeah. In other news, maybe you noticed that I was not playing a mridanga, which is the usual instrument that I play, the big drum, here in the morning, because we're having some difficulties here at the ashram. Actually, it's not really a laughing matter, because yeah, we're getting some noise complaints. It was almost too good to be true. We were having nice kirtans here with mridanga, kartal, chanting, and it appears that, it is the fact that someone has actually now complained. It was only a matter of time, and PJ is confused by the podcast title. Yes, Vivi, you're going to watch the podcast and you'll know. Are we deviating from the Siddhanta? You have to know by watching. So, yeah, we got some noise complaints. Somebody has become disturbed by the mridanga, and so we have to quiet it down. Actually, they called the council twice already. They already called the council. They didn't come to us, they just called. And actually, we are being sublet. I don't know if everyone has this system in every country, but subletting is basically you have a landlord, and then you have another landlord who lives within the house, and he owns multiple rooms, and then he lets out those rooms to other people. So we are sublet, and therefore protected from dealing directly with the landlord. But actually, the landlord wanted to kick us out onto the street immediately. Hare Krishna, Viviana Machik. Wow, cool name.
Yeah, she came last time.
Really? I didn't notice. I'm sorry for not greeting you. Hare Krishna, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. Okay, so yes, we almost got kicked out, but we're now protected by a very nice landlord, Mr. Florine. So he also is a guest star on one of our podcasts, if you want to hear from Florine. But that was on the We Didn't Land on the Moon, episode 3 or something. So, now I've lost my train of thought. So we were almost kicked out onto the streets, always having to deal with people complaining about the noise. Pretty much you can't go anywhere. We've been all over the world, and wherever we go we get complaints, but here in East Ham it was kind of the longest lasting. We didn't really have any problems. So yeah, but anyway, now we've had to stop that, so sorry, we won't be able to use the mridanga here in the temple for any longer, unless we can find some compromise or call them and figure out what exactly is the issue. Is it the level of the sound, or is it the nature of the sound? Because the nature of the sound is a bit more difficult to negotiate with. So anyway, that is a little update what's happening with us, always going through some kind of difficulty. Aradhana, Hare Krishna Aradhana. Very nice name.
She came yesterday.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome. We're now going to get into the discussion, chant some shlokas. So ready up your Sanskrit and let us do it. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Yajaitva Shramedaistvam
Yajatra Yamejastam.
Tam Trivirutama Kalpakai.
Yam Jibrin Kalpai.
Tadayasaha Pavanam Dikshu
Tadyashaha Pavanam Dikshu.
Satamanyoribhav Atanot
Shatamanyarivatanot. Yajaidya Vishmadahistam.
Yajaitva Ashramedaistam
Tribhiruttama Kalpakai.
Trivirutama Kalpakai.
Tadyashaha Pavanam Dikshu.
Tadayasa Pavanam Dikshu
Shatamanyarivatanot.
Shatamanyoriba Atanot Yajaitva
Yajaitva.
by performing
By performing
Ashramedais
Ashramadaihi.
Yagya in which a horse is sacrificed.
Yogya, in which a horse is sacrificed.
Tam him
him.
King Yudhishthir.
King Yudhishthira.
Trivir
Tribihi.
3
3.
Uttama
Tama.
best.
Best.
Kalpakai
Kalpakaihi.
supplied with proper ingredients and performed by able priests.
Supplied with proper ingredients and performed by able priests.
Tad
Tat.
that.
That.
Yasaha
Yashaha.
fame.
Fame.
Pavana
Pavanam.
virtues.
Virtuous.
Dikshu
Dikshu.
all directions.
All directions.
Satamanyur
Shatamanyaha.
like the one who performed 100 such sacrifices.
Indra, who performed 100 such sacrifices.
Eva
Eva,
like
like
Atonat
Atanat,
performed.
performed.
Translation. Lord Shri Krishna thus caused 3 well performed Ashrameda Yagyas to be done by Maharaj Yudhishthir, and thus made his virtuous fame glorified in all directions like that of Indra who performed such 100 sacrifices. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is something like a preface of the performances of Ashrameda Yagya by Maharaj Yudhishthir. The comparison of Maharaj Yudhishthir with the King of Heaven is significant. The King of Heaven is thousands and thousands times greater than Maharaj Yudhishthir in opulence, and still the fame of Maharaj Yudhishthir was not less than him. The reason is that Maharaj Yudhishthir was a pure devotee of the Lord, and by his grace only he was at par with the King of Heaven, even though King Yudhishthir performed only 3 yagyas, whereas the King of Heaven performed 100 times more than him. That is the prerogative of the devotee of the Lord. The Lord is equal to everyone, but the devotee of the Lord is more glorified because he is always in touch with the old grades. The sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are dark always. This is not due to the partiality of the sun, but it is due to the partial receptive power of the place for the sun rays. Similarly, those who are 100% devotee of the Lord, they get full-fledged mercy of the Lord, which is always equally distributed everywhere. Om Agyan Terinandasya Yanajana Shalakayam Chakshunan Minitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master's divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jaya.
So, everything in this world is created by the Lord, by Krishna. Krishna manifests this material world for the satisfaction of the conditioned souls who are trying to imitate him. So nothing belongs to us. The idea that, oh, this is mine. I have this apartment, I have this house, I have this wife, children, bank account. This is Maya. This is illusion. You don't have anything. And at the time of death, we'll be very shocked. Oh, now I have to leave everything aside. I cannot keep it with me. Can I take my bank account? Death says no. Can I take my family with me? No. Can I take my body? No, even the very body you have to leave it aside. Prabhupada says you get kicked out. Is it a very nice feeling when you get kicked out from an apartment? Let's say you get a nice apartment and then someone comes and he says, get out, and he kicks you out on the street. It's not a very comfortable feeling, right? All your things, you have to somehow find a place where to store them. So many difficulties. So in the same way, we all get kicked out. In the end of our life, you get kicked out. The death comes and kicks you. Get out. So those who think that, oh, this is mine, I am this is mine, they're in illusion. And the more they become attached to all these things, the more they're going to suffer later on. So we are using everything for Krishna service. You have a bank account, very good. Use it to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. Srila Prabhupada gives a guidance how to spend money. Those rich men, those who have lots of money, they should spend at least 50% for two purposes. Srila Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam, two purposes. What are they? Anybody knows? We have a little quiz. Two main purposes. If you want to preach Krishna consciousness, if you want to use money for Krishna, then you have to do it according to the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. So we must know. What is that? What is Srila Prabhupada saying? For Brahmana maintenance, that what Prabhu says, no. There are no Brahmanas. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. Where is the Brahmana? Do you see any Brahmana? I don't see. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. Everyone is working. So there is no Brahmana. There are no temples. You can see lack of temples. Yadav Prabhu says, book and prasadam. Okay, you got one right. Prasadam distribution. And yes, you can also say the first, the books. But Srila Prabhupada specifically says, Harinam Sankirtan, the chanting. Chanting. Books is also chanting. So it can be also considered Harinam Sankirtan. These two purposes. That's how the money should be used. So, we should go out and chant in the streets, learn how to play mridanga scientifically. It is not very difficult. Kartals, go out, chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is how the movement spread in the early days. There were no books. Srila Prabhupada brought his Bhagavatam, but the hippie devotees, those who were coming from the hippie background, they didn't have money to purchase. There was some Back to Garden magazine. That's what they were distributing. But otherwise, simply chanting, 10 hours, 12 hours, every day, chanting, chanting, chanting. So this created a very favorable atmosphere. This Harinam Sankirtan, this chanting, it purifies the atmosphere. Srila Prabhupada says that in Kali Yuga, conflicts develop not necessarily because of an issue, of a certain issue. In other words, the issue is not important. The conflicts develop because the atmosphere is charged with godlessness. Godless. Everyone is godless. That's why the atmosphere is contaminated. And in the contaminated atmosphere, if you have an impure place, disease spreads. Hare Krishna, Bhakta Christopher. Very nice seeing you on the live stream. So, it's a breeding ground of all disasters. Atmosphere that is surcharged. It is not that people are neglecting God, but they're taking active steps to eliminate God altogether, eliminate Krishna. You see, so this is what we have been experiencing in preaching, that wherever we go, people are trying to impose. Now you cannot chant. Every single place I stayed in, there were complaints. There were police, and there were also fines. We got fined. So it is not that people, they don't take interest in this Sankirtan movement. They actively trying to check it. It's like a war. Don't think that, oh, people don't care for this. People care, but for the wrong reason. They care to stop it. It is essential, those who are the devotees, they should support. They should not be negligent. They should take care. They should get involved in this war, Sankirtan war. It's a very nice war. We don't fight with weapons, just like the Muslims and the Christians, right? Because they have no philosophy. There's no philosophy. Even that little philosophy they have, thou shalt not kill. No one is following. Very scientific slaughterhouse in the Christian countries. Very sophisticated slaughterhouse systems are built. So in the history we see the so-called Christians, so-called Muslims, the conversion was going on with the sword, killing. If you don't accept, religion will kill you. So we're not that kind of foolish movement. We're fighting with the holy name and prasadam. So the finances, they should be used for this purpose. Otherwise, it is a waste. If we concoct our own ways, oh, I'm going to serve Krishna in my own way, I'm going to do this. Even Srila Prabhupada says the deity worship, it is not so essential. Wherever we can, we establish deity worship. Very nice. That purifies the body. But if you cannot, if you don't have the facility, simple picture of Lord Chaitanya will do. Just like our Victoria Mataji. She's worshipping very nicely. She sent a picture. Even the grandmother is taking part. It is so potent, this mercy of Lord Chaitanya, that even the grandmother is chanting Hare Krishna. So, this is how the money should be used. This is called yagya. Yagya. And if we do not perform this yagya, Prabhupada says, just like you're using electricity, you're using water, but you don't pay your bills. So then your electricity will be cut off. your water supply will be cut off. Right? Can you go on? Just taking without paying your bills? Ultimately, okay, maybe 1 month you can manage. You say, I don't have now, but I was late in my payments, so I will give later. You can give some excuse. But after 1 month or 2 months, nobody cares for your excuses. Similarly, we should not bring these excuses. Oh, I could not take part in the Sankirtan movement because I was busy with my family and busy with so many obligations. No, these obligations are Maya. This is the only sole purpose of human life, to perform yajna. We have already been given sense gratification. We have been given this body because we want sense gratification. So Krishna has given us, go and enjoy. You want to enjoy in such a foolish way? Okay, I will facilitate. Ye tamam prapadyante tamstaiva bhajamyaham. As they surrender unto me, Krishna says, I will award them accordingly. You want to be a demon? Krishna will give you the intelligence. Go and now call police, because there are devotees chanting my name. So you want to be a demon, so you go and disturb them. Call police, call the council. Yes. Krishna is simply fulfilling your desire, because this is what makes you happy. You have such a perverted sense of happiness. So Krishna fulfills, yes. Make it very nice and scientific. Scientifically you disturb them by calling the council. This is the position. See, so this is all Krishna's arrangement. He must fulfill the desires of all his disobedient children, all the rascals. All the rascals. Whatever whimsical desire you have, Krishna will fulfill it. And if you have a desire to take part in this Sankirtan movement, then he will also fulfill that desire. So the only reason why we're being hampered, why we are lacking surrendering attitude, we're lacking devotion, is because our desire is not strong. This is the problem. We have desire very strong for sense gratification, but desire very weak to take part in this Sankirtan movement. Lord Chaitanya, he laments in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can read a very nice passage. Lord Chaitanya is lamenting that I have brought this love of Godhead. I brought from Goloka Vrindavan love of Godhead, and I want to distribute this great gift. But I cannot do it alone. What can I do alone? I need assistance. So then Srila Prabhupada says, a sincere devotee is trying to relieve Lord Chaitanya from his transcendental anxiety. Lord Chaitanya is in anxiety. He is not in anxiety that, I want to be famous. Oh, I'm so much in anxiety because I'm not famous. He's not in anxiety to get many likes on Facebook. He is in anxiety to give love of Godhead to all conditioned souls, all living entities in this world. That is his anxiety. See? Paradukaduki. Every devotee is paradukaduki. He is feeling pain, seeing others in pain. Being Krishna unconscious, is the real pain. Because the living entity is struggling. Maya Vamsho Jiva Bhuta, Jiva Loki Sanatana, Manasastrani Nindriyani Prakritistani Karshati. He is struggling in this world with the senses and the mind. Trying to enjoy. You cannot enjoy. Only the soul can enjoy. The body cannot enjoy. That is illusion. When you think, oh, I am enjoying now senses. I'm enjoying eating, sleeping, I'm enjoying sex. You're not enjoying. Your body is enjoying, but you're not enjoying. And even that body cannot enjoy because it's dead matter. So, a sincere devotee is trying to relieve Lord Chaitanya from this transcendental anxiety. How to relieve all these conditioned souls from this maya, from this ignorance, from this foolishness, and connect them. Put their hands with Krishna's hand, like that. Connect them to Krishna. After all, he is Krishna himself, Lord Chaitanya. So, that is a sincere devotee. And a motivated devotee, he doesn't care for these things. So, we should be sincere. Otherwise, we'll be implicated. If one doesn't perform yajna, then whatever he is eating, whatever he is enjoying is simply increasing his sinful reactions. Whatever suffering we experience is due to sinful reactions to our previous activities. Just like now, if you are committing sinful activities, then in the future you will suffer. There will be a reaction. That's why an intelligent person studies Shastra. Doesn't matter. Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, some Shastra. Shastra explains, this should be done, this should not be done. You should do this, you should not do this, like that. Not that manufacture. Oh, I do this because I like it. It is very pleasant. I eat nice chicken. It is very palatable. But the chicken has to die for your so-called pleasure. So you'll be punished. The laws of nature are very stringent. Nobody asks, oh, he didn't know that he was not reading the Shastra, so please excuse him. No. Just like a child touches the fire. The child, whether she knows or doesn't know, is of no importance. You touch the fire, burn yourself. Similarly, you commit sinful activities, you will suffer. That is intelligence. Why should I suffer unnecessarily? Let me consult the Shastra. Let me consult the Guru. How to act in this world. That is intelligence. Just like many devotees, they're writing me different questions because they're awakening to this understanding. Oh, the more I inquire about spiritual activities, what should be done, what should not be done, how to avoid, how to become more strong in Krishna consciousness, the less I suffer. This is intelligence. And a foolish person, oh, somehow or other, I like it, doesn't matter what's going to happen after. And then lamenting, what to do, COVID, what to do, oh, where is vaccine, where is this, where is that? So, don't be neglectful, don't be negligent. This is a very effective way how to become very advanced in Krishna consciousness. By inquiring, by associating, by ascertaining what is to be done, what is not to be done. And we should not be complacent. Oh, I know, we're not this. I read the Bhagavad Gita one time, it's okay. I know everything. Now I'm a big devotee with big tilak and big dirt in the heart. Devotee never thinks that, oh, my job is now complete. I have finished. Just like you go to university, right? And then you get your diploma. Oh, now I am a very intelligent person, PhD. Now, Satatam kirtayanta mam yatanta shuddhirabrata namasyatan chama bhakta nitya yukta upashate. This is the difference between a devotee and impersonalist. The impersonalists, they also chant Hare Krishna. Yes, Mayavadis. They also chant Hare Krishna. They do Kirtan with harmonium. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes. It is not so easy to detect who is a Mayavadi. Most of the Mayavadis, they come in the dress of a devotee. Did you know that? So they also chant. But their chanting is only for the time being. Because there is a motive. By the chanting, Hare Krishna, I worship Krishna, I glorify Krishna. But ultimately, I am that Krishna. So I am chanting for myself. See, everything looks the same. The same chanting, the same tilak, the same shika, everything. But at the last moment, last snare of Maya, there is a dramatic shift which changes, contaminates the whole kirtan. That kirtan we should not hear because it contaminates. This is the root of all contamination. I am God, I am the controller. The devotee never thinks like that. Nitya yukta upasate. He's eternally engaged in the service. Just like Maima Vamsho Jiva Bhuta Jiva Loke Sanatana. He is eternally a fragmental part and parcel of Krishna. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Yo Bhaudam Viradati Kaman. There's a difference between me and the Lord. The Lord is Achyuta, he never falls down. But because I am constitutionally fragmental, minute, my soul is minute, there's always a tendency to fall down. So although I am in the spiritual world, I have a tendency to be covered by Maya. That is always there. That is our eternal constitutional position. It doesn't mean that we have to necessarily misuse it. But that potency is always there. That potential to fall down is always there. So because I'm eternally minute, my service is also eternal. It is only that I do something like a ritualistic. Do some prayers, blah, blah, blah. And then, now, what is the result? I want to enjoy sense gratification. God, give me some reward. Nitya yukta upashita. Aitukiya pratiyata. Krishna will give you everything, whatever you need. Whatever you need. He will give you better things that you can wish for. Because you don't know what to wish for. You're asking for broken pieces of glass. Dhruva Maharaj said this. He was praying, a little boy. So devoted, so determined. People say, I have no time for this. But he was 5 years old. So intelligent, so determined. In the beginning, he was motivated. He wanted a kingdom. But when he saw Krishna, Krishna wanted to give them the kingdom. Krishna is very kind. Yes, Krishna is waiting simply. Whatever you want, he will give you. Maybe not in this life, but ultimately he will give you. But Dhruva Maharaj refused. He said, no. His heart changed. See, by the execution of the process of Krishna consciousness, one's heart changes. get purified. And he proclaimed that my desire to get the kingdom was just like asking you for broken pieces of glass. Now I have a great diamond. What is the diamond? Your association. Simply by seeing you, that's enough. That's enough for me. I don't need anything else. So provided we are unalloyed, provided we are unconditional in our approach to Krishna, Krishna will give us everything. Do we see any example of this in this world? Yes, we do see an example. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He has shown all of this. So many temples, so many millions of dollars. Krishna supplied to Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Prabhupada was not affected by all. Just observe Srila Prabhupada's face on the videos. When devotees are worshipping him, they're worshipping. Because that's what you were supposed to do. Shakshat Dharitvina. Samasta. All the Shastras, they proclaim that the Guru is the external manifestation. He's the representative of God. So he should be worshipped. But when you look at Srila Prabhupada's face, he is completely peaceful. There's not even a single tinge of ego. He's confident, yes. I'm just a servant. We have a twisted idea. We think if I think I'm a servant, then I will not be confident. I will feel humiliated. Because being a servant in the material world is a sign of weakness. But Srila Prabhupada is confident because he's serving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is not in the least affected. So peaceful, the face is so peaceful. All these rascals, they try to imitate, but you can see the difference, the expression of the face. The ego, they cannot hide. There's a little indulgence. You can see a little indulgence. Just like if someone is glorifying you. Sometimes we get, red in the cheeks, right? If I say, oh, you are so beautiful, or you are so intelligent, you are such a good devotee. So it is difficult. The body starts to react, right? You can, you get all warm, hot, sweaty, maybe ecstatic. That's what we want, because we're conditioned souls. We want to be worshipped as good as God. But Srila Prabhupada, not even a single tinge of any of such reactions in his transcendental body. Why? Because he's a transparent via medium to Krishna. Transparent, like a transparent glass, right? If I put a transparent glass here, then the sunshine is passing through. And, I don't know, you can even set up a fire, right? With a transparent glass. As a magnifying glass. Anyway, it's a little different. But that is a guru. Transparent. So, this is what happens to an unalloyed devotee. Krishna supplies everything, whatever he needs. Because he knows, Krishna knows that whatever the pure devotee receives, he will use it in my service. A neophyte devotee, he is not so strong. That's why Krishna, he removes all the opulences from a neophyte devotee. You see, that is where your Krishna consciousness begins. When Krishna removes everything. We should design for that. This whole chapter is on this point. Pure devotion. What is pure devotion? We should desire that. Yes, remove. It's all nonsense. I'm so attached. I'm so diseased. I'm so addicted. Please, Krishna, remove it by force. Remove my money. Remove. Bank account, I want 0. Take it, please. Let my family members call me ill names. Oh, he's a fanatic. He is with the Hare Krishnas. He has become mad. Let your friends reject you. Oh, since you got into this Krishna consciousness, you don't go to a pub, you don't go to cinema, you're useless. Simply Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Always talking about Krishna. Let them reject you, yes. Let it be so. Because only then you will realize how much in Maya you are. You taking, oh, these are my good friends. Oh, this is my security, my money. Oh, I am very safe. No, you're never safe. Death can come at any moment. Krishna actually comes in the form of death. So we should not wait until Krishna comes in the form of death. We should welcome him now when he comes as Lord Govinda, Lord Shamasundar. Beautiful. And we should engage in this service. This is the Sankirtan Yagya all about. It's not simply sentimental chanting Hare Rama Hare Krishna. Although that is also good. We don't protest. But a little bit more is required to make it offenseless. You chanting Hare Krishna, very good. Now you make it offenseless. Offenseless chanting. Just like if you have, Prabhupada uses this example many times. If you have dry wood, you put a little spark, immediately blazing fire is activated. Very fast. If your wood is wet, then you can try to start a fire for millions of yugas. It will never be successful. So that is the difference between offensive chanting with some motive and offenseless chanting. Right? But in whatever way you can join the Sankirtan movement, that is good. That is good. At least you attempt, make an attempt. Those who do not even attempt, they're low class. They're low class. They're condemned. They simply remain on the material platform. They're doomed. There's no chance for them. So, a devotee is so the devotee is so great that even the demigods are worshipping him. That is mentioned. The spiritual master is the sum total of all demigods. Even the demigods want to take birth on this planet to take part in the Sankirtan movement. So what to speak of us? How fortunate we are. We are coming in a direct association with as an associate, with eternal associate of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. And we have the opportunity to serve him. If you serve him, then you become more dear. If you glorify, that is okay, but that glorification also must be from the heart. If I glorify but I do not serve, that glorification is not so high class. So this is how we can please Srila Prabhupada by engaging in this Sankirtan Yagya. Same Yagya that Maharaj Yudhishthira performed, the same principle is there. Now there are no priests, there are no brahmanas available, everyone rotten mentality. But this chanting is always effective. So we should take part in this. Any questions? Manisha, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Okay, you can already see questions here. PJ Prabhu, how are you? Hare Krishna. He's asking, Adi Yagya, Lord of Sacrifice, refers to Indra or Vishnu. Vishnu is chief amongst all demigods, including Brahma and Shiva. Shiva is worshipped, but Brahma is not, even though he is the creator of the universe. Why is Brahma not worshipped? Forgive if my question is impertinent. Brahma is worshipped also. Hiranyakashipu was worshipping Lord Brahma, the great demon. So then you can understand what type of people are worshipping demigods. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kamaishchai Tarva, what is that? Hitagyana. They're less intelligent. They're less intelligent because the demigods, their benedictions are temporary. So an intelligent person doesn't waste time asking for something that is temporary. Again, broken pieces of glass. He goes straight to Krishna. Straight to Krishna. So don't worry about this, Brahma. Don't worship Lord Brahma. Focus on Krishna. What is the use of inquiring about this? You have Krishna, take advantage of Krishna. If you want to worship the demigods, then you will stay here in this material world and suffer continuously. Don't be attracted by the demigods. Victoria Mataji is asking, how does one recognize a contaminated kirtan? Well, it is not so easy to recognize. That's why we have to hear from the devotees. It is not that, oh, they chanting Hare Krishna, they're okay. Do they have a class? See, we have a class every day. So we give the opportunity. Anyone who wants to test, is this Puraja, is he bogus? So they can watch the class and compare whether I speak according to what Srila Prabhupada says. And if I'm making any mistake, then they're also welcome to criticize. I will be very thankful. I will recognize them as my spiritual masters. Anyone who's teaching you how to follow Srila Prabhupada, he is a spiritual master. So there must be some discussion. Along with the chanting, we should learn how to chant by hearing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and there must be discussion. See, if the devotees are avoiding this association, there are such devotees. They say, this is nonsense. You just chant. Chant, chant, chant. Chanting, we only chant. Harinam, Eva Kevalam. No other way. No Bhagavad Gita. No, only Harinam. They're nonsense. That is just, they become immediately suspect. Why they're avoiding? You must chant under the guidance of the Guru. Srila Prabhupada says that if it doesn't matter, if this science doesn't matter to distinguish offenseless chanting, offensive chanting, if it doesn't matter, if you simply have to chant, why did I write all these books? Why am I working so hard to write all these books? Well, this science is explained in detail. Am I a fool that I'm writing these books for nothing? So that's nonsense. You cannot chant like that. In a neophyte stage, you cannot chant like that. That is for highly elevated souls. We must understand. We must come out of the material conception of life first of all. It is not that I simply chant and immediately I become purified. No, we have so many misconceptions. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that philosophy without sentiment is mental speculation. But sentiment without philosophy is fanaticism. You see, so we're not fanatics. Devotees, they must be learned in the Shastra. They must learn how to convince people With that Harinam also, see, it is not a musical performance. This chanting is not a musical performance. What is a musical performance? You make some recording, right? Then you put it on YouTube and you get your likes and you get, that's it. As a musical performance. The people are not chanting with you. They're not becoming electrified by the potency. You think of it like COVID. This is a Sankirtan COVID, this Hare Krishna movement. I call it the real-time parampara. Real-time parampara. Usually we think parampara means there was a guru before and there was one guru before, like that in the history, like a family tree. But Lord Chaitanya also is teaching the real-time parampara. That you read Srila Prabhupada's books, then you explain to your friend becomes a devotee. He explains to his friend, and his friend becomes a devotee. Like that. You can read about this in the chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya converts the Buddhists. The Buddhists come with contaminated foods to offer to Lord Chaitanya, and there's an eagle who takes the plate and throws it at the leader's head. And the leader faints, and his Buddhist students, they're lamenting. Then Lord Chaitanya tells them, chant Hare Krishna. So they become initiated. See, also proves that initiation is not the yagya. Initiation is through the holy name, through hearing. And these students, they initiate their teacher into the chanting. You see, so that is pure chanting. You might not be a pure devotee, but if you follow the order, then even Prabhupada says you are able to convert others to Vaishnavism. You might not be a pure devotee, but because you're following the order very strictly of the pure devotee, you get empowered to convert others into the chanting, into devotional service, to the point that they themselves become empowered to include others in the Sankirtan movement. See, it is very scientific. But if we reject Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada is dead, if we concoct our own thing, if we take it as a musical performance, chant very pleasing the Maha Mantra with nice violin and saxophone or whatever, and I'm simply getting likes and selling records, and my fans, they're just clapping, but they keep on committing sinful activities, and they're not becoming devotees. They don't set up their own centers. See, look at Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada chanted, he created such a revolution. Now 108 temples came from that chanting. See, so you must judge by the result. Okay. Melanie, Hare Krishna Melanie. Sometimes it seems we suffer after taking up Krishna consciousness. Why is this? Well, I have explained. There's a saying, if Krishna likes you, he gives you everything. But if Krishna loves you, he takes everything away. Because our so-called happiness in the material world is illusion. It's like a person in delirium. A person who's in delirium, he sees things that are not real, and he's intoxicated. Oh, I'm in an oasis, or I'm somewhere, I have diamonds, I'm a rich man. So Krishna wakes us up. Wake up, wake up. This is a world of suffering. Okay, I get it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. We must develop this sense of urgency when we chant. The sense of urgency. This is a horrible world. My body is temporary. I can die at any moment. These relationships are empty. What is that? Everyone wants to exploit me, simply. Those who are flattering me, they want something. Those who are cursing me, they're envious of me. They're envious of my sense gratification. And I am also envious of someone else like that. What kind of... This is a diseased atmosphere, this material world. Of course, if you associate with the devotees, then that's different. Devotees are trying to purify these qualities. But other than that, it is simply illusion. If there's any happiness. And they ask Prabhupada, what if a person says that, I don't need this Krishna consciousness, I'm happy. What should we tell them? So Prabhupada says, you tell them, you are a madman. He's a madman. Person who thinks that I can be happy here is a madman. So, when we chant sincerely, then Krishna gives us a little realization that yes, this is a place of suffering. To improve your chanting, your mood of chanting. So we should understand that we should not become like the German women during the war. Prabhupada mentions that many times. Visit Srila Gora Haridas Facebook Live. So that you can advertise somewhere else, my friend. PJ Prabhu, yes, of course, only Krishna, but people worship Shiva for specific purposes. But I never hear anybody worshipping Brahma. The temples for Shiva, but not Brahma, even though they are both on the same level of potency. Okay, so Chandravadana, she knows the answer. He was cursed by Lord Shiva. Yeah, I don't know these things, Prabhu. I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you so much, Prabhus. If you have any more questions. Oh, okay, Bhakta Christopher, you made it at the last moment with a question. Does Japa and Sankirtan have same spiritual potency? Are all bhakti services for Krishna of equal value, or some more than others? Very good question. Yes, they're all on the absolute platform, so there is no difference. Krishna doesn't care whether you're chanting or whether you're hearing or whether you're worshipping the deity, provided that service is performed with loving devotion. It doesn't matter. Also, the amount of service doesn't matter. Whether you sell billions of books or you sell one book. Krishna wants to see that your attitude is changing. He's interested in the consciousness, the mood of the service. That's what Krishna is paying attention to. So that is important, not necessarily with what type of service you perform. But in the conditioned state, we must follow, even in any state, we must follow the order of the spiritual master. So for that reason, Srila Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the spiritual master gives many orders, but out of all of these orders, the order to finish one's prescribed number of rounds is the most important. So comparatively speaking, if you're not doing japa and you're going on Harinam, yes, you can chant many hours, that is okay, but ultimately you will fall down. In the long run, it doesn't work like that, because you're not guided properly. So better you do japa, and you might, miss out on some Harinam Sankirtan. Maybe you have a job or something, but your progress will be steady, right? We should be intelligent, not be passionate. Oh, I'm a big devotee. Oh, I chant 24 hours, and then you crash and you have a fall down. What is the use of that? Better you become steady and come to the position of chanting constantly, gradually. That is possible. So following the order of the spiritual master is the most important, especially in a neophyte stage. Those who are not guided by Srila Prabhupada, by the spiritual master, they cannot make any progress, whether they do this service or that service. Hare Krishna. Eva Green, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for coming. I don't know. You say Prabhupada said that japa should. Okay, yes. Please post. I'm not exactly sure. I know Prabhupada says that the services in the temple, this is in Nectar of Devotion, are circled around chanting. The chanting of Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Nice question. And thank you very much, all of you, Prabhus, Matajis, for joining us. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol. Thank you, Prabhus. Have a nice day.